Hello, everybody. My name's Shazmin Majid, and today I'm going to be talking about my PhD, which has this rather long-winded title, which is Integrating the Use of Sensing Technology to Detect Early Warning Signs of Relapse in Bipolar Disorder. Before I continue, I thought I'd show you this this very funny gimmick that I've got. Well, I thought I'd show my face and say that I hope that you're all doing very well and hope to see you soon in person. Back to the presentation. Today I'll be just running through a quick project overview, and I'll be going through my progress and findings to date. So my PhD is, of course, funded by Horizon Centre for Doctoral Training, and my industry partner is the NIHR, Nottingham Biomedical Research Centre. And here we have it, the dream team indeed. So my lead supervisor is Dr. Stuart Reeves, based at the MRL, Grisella Figueiredo, based at ADAC in computer science, and Professor Richard Morris, who is a psychiatrist specialising in mood disorders based at the Institute of Mental Health. Just to get straight into it, really, just to give you a bit of background. So for those of you that do know or don't know bipolar disorder, I'll refer to it as BD from now, because saying bipolar disorder over and over again just does something to my voice. So BD is a chronic and serious mental health condition. It's characterized by extreme mood shifts from depression, which, as many of you know, is low mood, to mania, which is the opposite, is extremely high mood, periods of impulsivity, recklessness, increased movement, etc. Recognized as one of the 10 most debilitating conditions in the world, and each relapse causes permanent, irreversible neurological damage. So as you can imagine, minimizing relapse is a key therapeutic aim for those living with BD. So self-tracking and BD. Self-tracking BD behaviors and symptoms is crucial in managing this condition. From the literature, it's been said that the experience of tracking things, writing things down, and comparing them means that people are able to make more sense of their condition. And particularly useful at tracking are early warning signs, and they are a set of 63 unique symptoms and signs that arise around 2 to 4 weeks before an episode of either depression or mania. And the warning signs are different for mania and for depression. It's been shown that understanding these has been proven to improve time to either episode, decrease the percentage of hospitalization, and also improve functioning. So as you can imagine, there is technology to help those with BD and assist them in self-tracking. Particularly, there's been a rise in pervasive and ubiquitous technology, which uses passive, sort of in the background, sensing of smartphone data in order to understand BD symptoms. And items that are being sort of sensed in the background include the number of text messages, the number of phone calls, number of emails, GPS location, voice features, accelerometer data, as well as app usage. So all that's been used to understand symptoms of BD. But at the current time, there are numerous gaps in the field. A recent review showed that the current technology is not being developed in a way that is accounting for the needs of users and is also reflective of their current self-tracking practices. And I mentioned here, the early warning signs, 63 unique symptoms in a rather complex condition, which is BD. There is an argument whether just capturing smartphone data alone is enough to understand these complex BD behaviors and understand the process of relapse. So The current project aims to develop a prototype smartphone sensing system which uses smartphone data as well as financial data, home utility usage data to detect early warning signs for those with BD. The work split into 3 work packages. Work package 1 is focused on system design, and the aim is to trial a prototype design framework which combines principles of user-centered design and participatory design to investigate the HCI aspects of this type of technology, and to use that to develop a prototype alongside users being those with lived experience of bipolar disorder. Work package 2 is all around investigation, and I want to know whether using this prototype, I can pick up early warning signs by sensing these passive data streams. And work package 3 is all around testing. I want to know whether the technology is accurate, is it usable, is it feasible, and is it acceptable? And the findings from this work package will be fed into the overall design to ensure that we are having an iterative design process. So progress and findings. So I've made some progress in work package 1 in particular, which was focused on system design. And I ran 2 workshops that were aimed at understanding the principles and the practices and the attitudes around self-tracking. So 2 workshops were ran with 18 participants with lived experience of BD, one in Nottingham in January 2020, and one in Northampton in February. And both these workshops were actually developed with and co-facilitated by 2 individuals who have lived experience of BD. So I met these individuals on a regular basis who, where we sort of co-developed the program, the workshop, and on the day, we both ran the workshop, contributed jointly towards facilitating group discussions, and we'll also be analysing the data together once that gets done and going. The workshops were 3 hours in total and were split into 3 sections. That was exploring the reasons around self-tracking, exploring the methods used for self-tracking, and the final part was focused on challenges and opportunities for technology and self-tracking. So you can see here, as you can imagine, I had 18 participants, and there were 3 hours, 3-hour workshops in total with them, and there was 2 lots of them. So I've got so much audio data, and this is just some snapshots of the kind of data that I did capture through the workshop. So a lot of post-it notes, a lot of jotting the ideas down, and all that sort of stuff, which I'm currently in the lovely process of analysing. And just in time for this presentation, actually, I did find some preliminary findings, some summary findings. In relation to reasons around self-tracking, the participants themselves put the post-it notes that they had into themes, and also kind of mark them in terms of hierarchy. And it was found that making sense of BD was the most important reason as to why people self-tracked. And the social aspect of self-tracking was considered the most helpful aspect of self-tracking. In terms of methods, very, very complex process was the finding that came to light. Participants indicated 50 methods used to self-track, with further complex descriptions on how these are used to count and keep track of important factors related to self-management. In terms of challenges and opportunities, the following themes arose from a thematic analysis. It was found that the experience of tracking can be quite negative. There are difficulties of tracking when unwell, and also complexities and difficulties around being honest with oneself and others when self-tracking. In terms of opportunities for technology, participants displayed some openness and also shared some guidance on how to make this technology usable as well as personalizable. Right, I'll show my face here just to say bye and wrap things up. So the next steps, we're going to use these findings to develop a third workshop, which is focused on the design of technology, which marries up these preferences as well as the technological capabilities we can offer in terms of working with my industry partner and developing a prototype. I will work with my industry partner to finalize the prototype, as well as trial and test the prototype in due course. And that is my PhD. So I know I've gone about 30 seconds over the mark, but just wanted to say thank you and goodbye.